What's up, everybody? Joe White here. Um, I'm uploading a video right now that Rick Hendrickson and I did a couple of weeks ago. Pretty much sitting back, shooting the shit, talking about my job and some of its frustrations. But I kind of wanted to add to it a little bit because with Rick, we can't really go into detail, because it's Rick and he wants to go off and talk about other things, which is perfectly cool. I'm sorry, I can't say enough good things about Rick Hendrickson. Rick got me pretty much cemented in the whole wrestling podcast thing, and it's because of him that I was able to grow it as big as I did at one point. Um, I want to talk a little bit about. Give me one moment here. I want to talk a little bit about my job. My job here, basically, what I do is I work for the probably the most prominent internet service provider in the country and cable provider in the country. I'm not going to say their name because I'm not going to get myself into trouble. Um, but what I am going to do is give you some tips. Now, we know that when you call in, you're pissed off because your internet doesn't work and you think that it's just a plug in and go deal, and you think that it should just poof work. Your Wi Fi should just poof work. Guess what? It doesn't exactly work that way. And I'm not going to go into specifics here about what the internet is. Search on YouTube. There's 1,000 videos out there that will tell you how Wi-Fi works, what can interfere with your signal, how it can just stop working, and ways you can fix it without having to call us. But what pisses me off is certain customers who call in and they're like, "Hi, my Wi-Fi's not working." Well, how is it not working? Are you able to connect to your home network? First off, you need to realize, yes, you have to connect to your home network. It's not just a plug in and go deal. You have to find your network, the network that the router is broadcasting. You have to connect to it. You have to enter in your password for it if it is secure, and you should be good to go from there. And for heaven's sakes, don't just call up and go, "Hi, internet ain't working. Fix it." That is so rude. I don't come into your job if you're a mechanic and go, "Hi, tire flat." No, I tell you a little bit, "Hey, I was riding down the road. All of a sudden, it popped just like that. And I rode down here for a couple of miles on the rim, so your rim might be bent as well." Or, "Hey, I got a slow leak. Been pumping it full of air here the last couple of months, but it's finally just gotten to where I could come in and get it fixed. And be careful because there's fix-a-flat in there that may bust up on you when you go to take it off the rim." Don't be specific. Please be specific when you call us. Know what your network name and password is. If you rent a router for a modem or a wireless gateway, which is a modem and router combo from an internet provider, chances are there's a sticker on there that tells you your network name and your password. And when you call in and we say, "Hi, thank you for calling blah blah blah. My name is blah blah blah. How can I help you today?" And you tell us what's happened, and we ask you for your information, we don't care, at least not in my department, we don't care how many times you've given your phone number, your address, your name, and whatever other information we may require. We don't care how many other departments you've given it to. We don't care how many times you've put it in on the phone pad. We don't care how many times that you've given that information. We're going to ask you for it again. So don't get ticked off. Don't sit there and go, "I gave it to four other people. Why didn't it transfer over?" Guess what? It still does transfer over. But company policy and customer and our department's policy is we have to verify that you are who you say you are, or at least you know what account you're calling about. If you don't want to call up and give your information, it's a sad world we live in then, because that means Jim Bob Jones can call up, give you the phone number, and just randomly make changes, add a bunch of pay-per-views to your account if he wanted to. No, we can't give you the password to your account. We could give you the password nowadays to your Wi-Fi. We can't give you the password to your account that lets you log in and pay your bill. It's the law. We can reset it, but we can't tell you what the current one is. Get over it. Um, and realize that we can't always fix your problem. You may need, who cares if you just bought a modem? Who cares if you just went to a service center of ours and just picked up this modem? Who cares if you've only had the modem a week? They can die. Just because it's new to you doesn't mean that the thing hasn't been passed around to 14 different families and refurbished 1,500 times. It's a business. We recycle the damn things. Get over it. And speaking of equipment, there's constantly people out there in the tech world telling you, why don't you go buy your own? Don't do that. It may work better than ours, but you lose the tech support that goes with it. We do not support customer-owned equipment. Most ISPs don't. Reason being, if we go in there and tell you to troubleshoot it and the thing blows up on you, guess who you're going to blame? You're going to blame us when it's your equipment. Sorry. Let's see, what else here? Yes, my company charges you sometimes for a technician to come out to your home and fix your shit. Okay? If it's something as simple as swapping out the gateway, which is something you can carry your ass down to a service center and stand in line for 30 minutes for, we're going to charge you. I don't know why my company does it. I don't know why they do it. But we have to tell you about it. Don't ask us, hey, why am I being charged for this? Because my department that deals in internet doesn't know. Call up billing and bug them about it. We can't quote you prices on it either. Because it's all based on what the technician does when he gets on site. We're not field techs. We obviously can't solve your problem. So we don't know what the technician's going to have to do to solve your problem. We can't change the policy either, so don't sit there and ask to speak to a supervisor, because here's the rub, guys. Come here. Here's the rub. Supervisors can't do shit. Supervisors are there for you to vent to, and that's it. When they're done hearing you bitch and piss and moan, you know what they do? Either they say, hey, let me get you to one of our reps that solves the problem, and they're going to stick you right back in the queue on hold, or they're going to say, let's get a tech out to you. Or they're going to tell you to cancel your service. That's another thing. Don't call in and reach my department and go, well, how about I just cancel my service? Go ahead. Let me get you to the retention department. I'll transfer you right over. My job is not to hit the floor and go, please stay with us. We can't afford to lose you. Because we can. For every one customer that's unhappy, there's 15 more, like me, that love our service and have never had a problem with it. Bye. Have fun with clear wireless or that dial-up or the DSL. So that's pretty much basically. Give me one moment here. One should never try to carry on conversations here. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and that's another thing, speeds. Anytime any ISP quotes you a network speed, you're going to get, let's say, 50 megabytes uploading, or 50 megabytes downloading, 10 megabytes uploading. Anytime that any ISP quotes you a speed, it is a average speed, average, not hardcore, not concrete, average speed, and it's based on a hardwire connection. Yes, please have an Ethernet cord if you're going to call us. Please have a device that can hardwire in when you call us, because chances are we can tell you to go to a website that lets you download a little program that lets us remote into the computer and fix things. We can't do that if you have no wireless connection, or if you can't hardwire. It amazes me to think about what 90% of the people would do if it was 10 years ago and we didn't have or 20 years ago and we didn't really have Wi-Fi. It amazes me to think, and if I'm sorry, if you don't know anything about technology, don't call in. If you don't even know what the term hardwire or Ethernet means, don't call in. Have somebody else calls in that does know what they're talking about. If you're one of those 12 o'clock flashers, and what I mean by 12 o'clock flasher is that every appliance in your home is blinking 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, don't call in. Better yet, just give up. Donate your computer to the library and give up because you're not going to get it. You can't get online if you're a 12 o'clock flasher. You can't learn because you don't want to learn. Only thing you know is I got me one of them fancy computers and I'm going to go online. No. Stop. Just stop. If your grandkids buy you an iPad for Christmas and all they do is hook it up and say, "Here, Grandma," just stop. Tell them I don't want it, or tell them, "Hey, teach me how to use this thing real quick. Tell me how to get it connected. How did you get me online?" And libraries, public libraries, run computer classes for free, specifically for the elderly, that show you how to get online. They show you what the basic fucking computer functions are. If you don't know what a right click is, you don't have any business being talking to me, let alone her own in a computer. And don't put your goddamn kids on the phone. Don't call in and put little Timmy on the phone because my 11-year-old knows more about this than me. No, my job is to educate as well as troubleshoot. You're not going to learn a goddamn thing if you put your kid on the phone. How stupid does that make you look? Give me one moment here. So I just, sorry. Um, and another thing, know what kind of computer you have. Know what kind of device you have. Don't just tell me it's a Dell. And where it says Intel Pentium, that's the processor, you fucking moron. That's not what kind of computer you have. You know what make and model number, or what make and model of car you have. You wouldn't just tell your mechanic it's a Chevy. No, you're going to say it's a Chevy Cavalier. I could see not knowing how many liters your engine is, or how many, what size your tires are, or what the inner workings of it are, but at least know the make and model and what operating system it's running. Tell me it's a Dell Inspiron running Windows 7. It's a damn Dell Inspiron running Windows 8.1. It's an HP Pavilion laptop running 8.1. It's a MacBook Pro running OS X 10.110 Yosemite. Let me know something. Find that out before you call in. And realize that the device you're on has just as much to do with your connection and your internet connection as much as our service does. If you're running an old 1992 compact Pizzario with Windows whatever on it, trade it in. If you're running something that has Windows XP on it, trade it in and get a new one because that's part of your problem right there. The little Athros internet cards that they put in XP systems don't agree with the gateways that my company uses. Don't blame me that your hardware is not compatible. And no, it's not our job to make our hardware compatible with yours. It's your job to make your hardware compatible with ours. Find out if you're using another router along with our gateway. If you have another gateway from an ISP, the gateway needs to be put into something called bridge mode. Look up what that is. I'm not going to explain it here. And some people are going to say this and go, "Well, Joe, if you don't like your job, why don't you quit?" I love my job. I just wish that 90% of the people that call in would have some form of why, how things work. You know? It reminds me of the old 90s sitcoms where the guy would ask the woman, well, what sound is the car making? Oh, and they just like, oh, it's a clunking sound, and they don't know anything more. And the audience laughs, oh, she don't know shit about the car. And and please learn that Wi-Fi is a radio signal. If you have walls between you and the modem, it's going to degrade. Let me give you a list here of what can interfere with a radio signal. Walls, wood, fluorescent light bulbs, metal surfaces, having your fucking modem right next to your TV. That and many more. Research. It's gotten to the point now that my company requires me to send out web articles to every customer telling them how they can prevent problems in the future because they were too stupid to look it up in the first place. And most modems, most wireless modems, have reset buttons on the back of it. Push it in with a toothpick for 30 seconds, and 9 times out of 10, you get your problem resolved. And realize if your Xbox One can't connect to Xbox Live, there's really not much more I can do for you. Hardwire your video game systems. Hell, hardwire anything you can. Now, I know there are computers and laptops out there. Apple's famous for this. There are laptops out there that do not have Ethernet ports that you can't hardwire into. I get that. Excuse me. I get that. And that's the company who makes its fault, because if your Wi-Fi card breaks or goes on the fritz, guess what? You either got to get a new computer or you got to get the laptop fixed. Or you got to get the Wi-Fi card in the laptop fixed, which by the time you do that at a Geek Squad, you probably could have bought a new computer. And don't go out buying them little USB Wi-Fi gimmicks. Them things are crap. They don't work. One thing this job has taught me as well is that Rokus, Apple TVs, Chromecasts, Kindle Fires, they're all shit. Sometimes we go in and we change the encryption mode, which is the way your Wi-Fi network gets to your devices and the way it's encrypted. Look it up, and it works. But if you're more than 30 feet away from the modem, forget it. Same thing with smart TVs. Smart TVs are the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen, because the Wi-Fi cards that they put in it, as well as the newer 8th generation video game systems, the PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, they got crappy Wi-Fi cards in them. Hardwire your shit, people. Hardwire your video games especially. Smart TVs can be hardwired too. Hardwire them. Trust me, there's a 50-foot Ethernet cord upstairs that runs from the modem in the next room all the way to my PlayStation 4. Because the PlayStation 4 was one room away in my bedroom from the modem, and it would not work off the Wi-Fi. Sorry, Sony puts cheap parts in there to try and keep the cost down as much as they can. Hardwire your video game systems. You're going to get a stable connection and less lag like that anyway. I hope this helps you. I don't mean to be a stick in the mud, and I don't mean to bitch and piss and moan, but these are just basic things that you should know. Wi-Fi is not a fairly new concept. It's been around for well over 2 decades, if not more. And these goddamn cell phones, oh my God. I use one too, I'm not going to lie, but mine will connect. Goddamn iPhones, I swear, I hate them. I will never buy an Apple product. One thing this job has taught me, and I'm sorry all you Apple fans who love your video and audio editing software, I'm sure it worked great for you, but then again, 9 times out of 10, you're probably calling me up and bitching about it. I can't stand a fucking Apple product. And them little Apple airport routers and time capsule routers, they don't work. But anyway, this is just a quick little rant from me, and hopefully I've given you some good advice. So the next time you call up your internet help desk, whether it be on your internet provider or any other company that you're going to bitch about when it comes to internet, know your shit. Know what kind of device you have. Know what kind of operating system it runs. Know what kind of model number it is. You can't just call me up saying I got a Sony smart TV that won't connect. Sony makes different models of smart TV. Again, you would never go to your mechanic and say, "Oh, I have a Chevy that won't start." What model Chevy you have? I don't know. Well, hell, there's not much I could do to help you unless you let me know what the model number is. Granted, a mechanic can walk out to your car and take a look, but we're over the phone. I'm not there with you. And expect to be put on hold a lot. We don't care how long you're on hold. The only thing we really do when we put you on hold is because A, we don't want to carry on a conversation with you and get personal. B, they dock us for dead air on our quality assurance. So we put you on hold so you hear stupid music so we ain't got to talk to you while we're doing resets and stuff. Our job is to get you connected and move on to the next one. It's an assembly line, folks. How fast can we funnel you through here so that we can have longer wait times in between calls? That's how it works. I could care less how many times you got to swap out a modem. I could care less how new your device is. As long as I could get you connected one way or another, that's my job. Anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. This is my little rant for today. Um, Video game wise, I'm kind of excited. There's a couple things I want to get this weekend. I want to get StarCraft 2. Um, I remember StarCraft 1 back in the day. I used to rule at that game's single player mode. That game's single player mode was awesome. I want to get a game from the Sega Genesis. It's a role playing game that I could do a Let's Play of. I want to continue my Batman Let's Play. I think I might ditch the Batman Let's Play because my capture card can't capture it that well. But the other game that I'm playing really doesn't have. It's a Sega Genesis game, so it really doesn't broadcast at 1080p to begin with. But we'll see how it goes. Wrestling wise, Raw last night, it was what it was. Nothing really too big happened. The deal with R-Truth was the best part with me. You know, y'all behave. That was funny as hell. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. Short little video for me. Coming up, I don't know if I'll have a video tomorrow or not. Tomorrow is the second bout of the Wednesday Night Wars. So I will be recording Ring of Honor. And I don't want to watch TNA. I saw everybody was up in arms over what happened with Mickie James. She got pushed off a train platform or something and hit by a train, you know. When Mama got run over by a train, throw Mama from the train, whatever that movie was called. But I it, that right there is Exhibit A why I don't watch TV no more. Oh, we kill people now on pro wrestling apparently. Next thing you know, they're going to put her in a plexiglass box and fill it with concrete. Ugh. I know people who were there for that. Anyway, guys, I'm getting off here. This has gone on way too long. I'm just telling you, if you're having trouble with your internet and you're going to call your internet provider, be nice. It's not our fault your shit's broken. Be nice. And we don't care how many people you've been bounced around to. Be nice to us. Be nice to the people who are in America. I could care less about the people in the Philippines. Rant on them all you want to. And you know, people, you shouldn't say that. Well, you should be nice to them too. But when you get to me, you should, you know, have a little courtesy. Don't curse at me. Granted, I curse like a sailor on here and in everyday life, but I'm professional when I'm working. Try to extend the same courtesy because cursing, yelling, screaming, ranting, raving, saying it worked before, saying it worked 30 days before, saying, oh, this just happened, doesn't solve your problem, and we don't give a shit. We don't care how the problem happened or why it happened. We just care about getting it fixed. We care about making you happy and getting it fixed. It was working. It was just working 2 days ago. Well, it's not working now. So apparently whatever was doing it 2 days ago, throw that out the window. I don't care. Let's get you up and running now. And if the modem's broken, I don't care that it worked 2 days ago. Well, it stopped working now. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to get off here. Always, if you have a comment, leave it below. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys down the road.